What's up, YouTube? It's your daddy Vern with another sports report, and we're continuing on what media day. We're talking about the Brooklyn Nets. Yo, okay, so KD starts off the press run here, and he talks about how this is actually kind of surreal to him. He been following Kyrie since high school, and for them to link up together is kind of something that's peculiar and unusual. So definitely it was something, a dream in a dream coming essentially. So he starts off by discussing that.
Bring you here with him. Can you kind of talk about how you guys' relationship has built over the years and just what it's like now to be on the same team now and going forward for the next 4 years?
Yeah, man, we got to build that mutual respect for somebody, especially following since high school, kind of following each other's careers. And it's very rare we can meet up at this point and have a decision in front of us where we can control our destinies. And we sat down and talked about it and what basketball meant to us as a whole. And I think this is a perfect spot for us to hone our skills and continue to keep growing. So it was one of those things you just. It kind of happened organically and you kind of moved just pretty smooth with it.
Alrighty here. So another reporter asked him how long it took him to make his decision, and he said he made it. It only took him a couple seconds to really see where he would fit in each organization that offered him a job essentially. And so Brooklyn is where he landed. He didn't say it took him that long, so I thought Brooklyn would be a good choice for him.
Basketball, know it pretty well. And it's really easy to see, what these guys brought to the table. So it's not like I had to do any deep analysis on any player here. I mean, just watching games and playing against them and seeing a continuity throughout the last couple of years is pretty easy to kind of figure out what kind of team what kind of organization this place is.
Kyrie said that they talked at 4:16 in the morning between him, JD and DJ, and KD. And KD didn't really, KD doesn't really like to talk to the media about personal life and things like that. So KD didn't give much info on that. Kyrie, as you'll see, will give a whole spiel.
You talked about how you and DJ and he spoke at 4:16 in the morning, the day of free agency. Can you tell us a little bit more about those conversations?
I mean, he was just like, are we ready to do it? And everybody was like, yeah. I mean, it was really that simple. I was trying to think of something deeper, but it really was that simple.
Kyrie. In fact, Kyrie starts off by talking about how, he talks about that 4:16 in the morning situation and investing in their futures, and how he has a tremendous amount of respect for those players.
With Spencer Dinwiddie, for instance, before you came here, and then also with KD, and DeAndre, as far as building that all-star core. Thanks.
Well, I definitely have unique relationships across the league. Just the respect I have for the different players and the different journeys that they've had to be NBA basketball players. So me and Spencer's relationship went far beyond the court itself. So we got a chance to know one another during All-Star Weekend in Los Angeles. We ended up hanging out. He won the skills challenge. Didn't really talk too much about any free agency or anything like that, but we had a relationship that we developed from then on. So it felt great. That was a core piece and really feeling comfortable there after free agency started. And then with Katie and DJ, it was 4:16 in the morning. Us just talking about our futures and how this opportunity ahead of us is something that we haven't had in our careers. The ability to make a choice, sitting down, actually talking in detail about the future and the investment we had in one another and the investment we wanted to have in Brooklyn. So it made sense all the way around, and then having the incredible people that they have in the organization made it that much easier. They made us feel like all-stars. It made us feel like we were supposed to be treated fairly, from the media component, from our teammates, from the first-class service that they give here, concierge, and most importantly for me was just the family atmosphere. They reached out to my family as soon as I committed, and it felt like they were very inclusive with everything that they had going on here, and it was just like a step away being away from home. And they made me feel as comfortable as I could, as well as reaching out to KD and DJ, and as well as other guys on the team to make sure that they know what's going on, that this is for the future. We're here to build. We're not saying we're a championship team right now. We're not going to say this is what it's going to be going forward. We're just here to observe one another, care for one another, and be here to enjoy playing basketball. But first and foremost is our family. And I feel like sometimes that can get confused in this league about who we are as human beings. So I'm always going to be an advocate for that. And they are advocates is that we're humans first and then we're basketball players.
Obviously, we don't know.
Kyrie was also asked what he expects for this year with KD being hurt and he being in a situation where he was on a team where he was rushed back from an injury. He just told him that he definitely do not want to rush KD. KD can come back on his side. There's going to be no pressure from anybody to have him come back. So they didn't really talk about how much he didn't really set a real expectation, but I think they'll be definitely a contender. Definitely is a good squad even without KD. So for sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that question's gonna come up pretty frequently throughout the year. But even while he was injured, I made sure that he knows that he has our support 100%. That there isn't going to be any pressure from any of us at any time. And I will make sure of that because I've been in that same position of being the guy that's injured on the team and everyone looking like, are you going to come back anytime soon?
And finally, Kyrie talks about his love for Boston, but essentially he had a personal issue that came up where he lost his grandfather, and that really affected him personally, and couldn't. He had a hard time focusing on work or even caring to come to work since work took him away from the family like that. So we definitely. I feel like we're seeing some excuses from Kyrie, but hopefully things change in Brooklyn and we see a different Kyrie and we see some more leadership. It definitely sounds like he's the leader of the three of these guys between KD and DJ, DeAndre Jordan. So I definitely feel like Kyrie will be the leader of these guys, and so we'll see what happens.
I love being in Boston. I love the Boston fans. And then 2 weeks later, things just got really rocky for me in terms of when I left. I believe after the Phoenix game, I went to my grandfather's memorial, and he passed on October 23rd, and after he passed, basketball was the last thing on my mind. So a lot of basketball and joy I had was sucked away from me, and there was a facial expression that I carried around with me throughout the year. I didn't allow anyone to get close to me in that instance, and it really bothered me, and I didn't take the necessary steps to get counseling or get therapy or anything to deal with someone that close to me dying. I've never dealt with anything like that. So for me, I responded in ways that are uncharacteristic, and like I said, I had to acknowledge that fact, and I had to acknowledge that fact to the organization first, because that was our internal bond and trust that we had. I talked to Danny, I wanted to resign. So throughout the year, it started becoming more and more clear that my relationships within my home life have way higher precedent than the organization or anyone, and I barely got a chance to talk to my grandfather before he passed from playing basketball. So you tell me if you would want to go to work every single day knowing that you just lost somebody close to you, doing a job every single day that everyone from the outside or anyone internally is protecting you for. Like, hey, just keep being a basketball player. So throughout that year, it just became rocky, and a lot of the battles that I thought I could battle through in the team environment, I just wasn't ready for it. And I failed those guys in a sense that I didn't give them everything that I could have during that season, especially with the amount of pieces that we had. So my relationships with them personally were great, but in terms of me being a leader in that environment and bringing everyone together, I failed.
That's my take on it. Peace.